This conference will now be recorded.
Now. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the DML statements, and we have discussed how can we perform the operations and the object records through DML statements we have discussed. And upon performing the operations by using DML statements, what kind of drawbacks or the limitations that we have in DML statements we have discussed in the previous session. And in order to overcome these limitations, we are having an alternative mechanism that is called as database class. So basically, database is a built-in class. It's a ready-made class which has been given by Salesforce by default, which is used to interact with your Salesforce objects, and we can perform all the DML operations. So by interacting with your Salesforce object, and to perform the DML operations on your object records, whatever the features are required, all the features are available inside this database class. So as part of this database class, it provides a collection of methods like database.insert, update, delete, undelete, upsert, merge, empty recycle bin. The various methods has been given by database class as part of the class, which are purely static methods. These are not instance methods, these are purely static methods. Now, so that we can able to access this method directly by using class name dot method name. So without creating the object of the class, just by using class name dot method name, we can able to invoke these methods as well. Now, then what are the benefits that we have with these database class methods? By using this database class methods, we can perform all the DML operations on your object records. That is the first thing. Second one, upon performing the DML operations, we can enable partial processing mechanism. That means whenever we are processing the records, it may be insertion or updation or deletion or undeletion or upsert or anything here, upon performing the operations on the multiple records, in the middle of the processing, if any of the record operation has been failed, if any of the record has been failed to process, then just we can skip that record, ignore that record, and continue with the remaining records as it is. That we can implement with the help of database class methods. Next. So now, for example, I'm processing some 10 records. I'm processing some 10 records. Record 1 inserted successfully. Record 2 inserted. Record 3 inserted. Record 4 has been failed. And record 5 inserted successfully. Record 6 inserted. Record 7 failed. Record 8 inserted. Record 9 inserted. Record 10 again failed. So out of these 10 records, how many records we have processed over here successfully? 7 records. 7 records are successfully processed. The remaining 3 records are failed. Now, in this case here, how many records we have processed successfully, how many records has been failed, everything we can able to track. We can track the result of each and every record operation, whether that record is processed successfully or the record is failed. If the record is failed, why? What is the reason behind this? Okay, we can able to track by using this database class methods. Okay, now, so I think you might be aware of the feature called as a data loader. As part of our configuration, we have discussed data loader. Through data loader, whenever we are inserting the records or updating the records or deleting the records, data loader will generate two output files, a success file and a error file. Success file contains what? All the records which has been processed successfully. Error file contains only the failed records along with that failure reason also, because data loader is purely using database class methods internally. Whatever the operations we are performing through data loader is purely using database class methods internally. Because of that, it will generate two output files, a success file and an error file here. Okay, now let's see. In this case here, how can we use this database class methods in order to process the records? Let's see. Now let me explain the concept of database start insert method. Now, so what do you mean by this database start insert method? What we can do? Okay, inserting the record. So by using this database start insert method, we can insert either one record or multiple records also inside our Salesforce objects. Not only inserting one record, we can insert multiple records also inside the object through database start insert method. Now, so now in this case, we have to follow a specific syntax. Upon inserting the records, we can able to enable partial processing mechanism also. Then how can we enable partial processing mechanism? I will show you one by one here. Okay, now let's see. Make a note of this one. By using this method, we can insert either one or more records inside the Salesforce object. Inside the Salesforce object. While inserting the records inside the object, we have to supply the values for all the required fields in the object. Whatever the mandatory fields that we have, for all the mandatory fields, we have to supply the values for this particular record. Now, while inserting the records, we can enable partial processing mechanism. Partial processing mechanism, and we can track each record result. We can track each record operation result. Now let's see the syntax. Database start insert. Here we need to pass the collection name and a boolean parameter. It will be returning the result in the form of database dot save results. Done with this syntax? Now, let's see. Now, let me explain how can we enable partial processing mechanism. So, database dot insert is a built-in method which is used to insert multiple records. Then, whatever the records you are trying to insert, those records we have to place inside the collection. This is the first parameter. For this insert method, we are passing a list collection which contains the records which you are trying to insert into the object. Now the second parameter, boolean. Here we are passing true or false. Then what do you mean by true? What do you mean by false? Now this particular boolean parameter is used to indicate whether you want to maintain the transactions or not. That means you want to allow the transactions or you want to allow partial processing mechanism. To indicate that we are having the second parameter boolean. In this case, if I am passing the second parameter as true, then it will maintain a transaction. It will maintain transactions. That means what? Upon processing the records, in the middle of the processing, if any of the record has been failed, it will cancel all the records automatically. That is the functionality of transaction. So if you are passing the value true, it will same working like as your normal DML statement insert. Okay, if I'm passing this second parameter value as true, it will be exactly working like as your insert statement, so that it maintains a transaction. As part of transaction, upon processing the records, if any of the record operation has been failed, it will cancel the whole transaction automatically here. Now, second one, false. That means what? I would like to indicate, don't maintain transaction. That means please allow partial processing mechanism. Please allow partial processing mechanism, so that here if I'm passing the value as false, it will allow the partial processing mechanism here. Now that means what? Upon inserting the records, if any of the record insertion has been failed, it will just skip the record, it will continue with the rest of the records as well. For that reason, we are having this second parameter boolean. Now, in this case, you can raise a question, sir. Suppose, for example, in my collection, I have placed 5 records. I'm enabling partial processing mechanism here. Now, while processing the record, first record is processed, second record is processed, third record is processed, fourth record has been failed. Then fifth record also processed successfully. Then from this, out of these 5 records, how many records are processed successfully? How many records are failed? How can we track? In order to track that result, we are using the help of a class called as database.saveResult. Database.saveResult is a ready-made class. Save result is a ready-made class which will be holding the result of a record upon saving. Upon inserting the record, what is the record operation result? To store that, we are having save result class. Now, database.saveResult is a class which can store the result of one record upon insertion. But here, how many records we have placed over here? 5 records. We need to store multiple records insertion results. To store the multiple records insertion result, we are using either array, or else we can use the help of list collection also. List of database.saveResult class also we can use any one of this. That's what I told you. Listic collection supports to store primitive type of elements, yes subject type of elements, Apex type of elements. Database.save result is a ready-made class. It's Apex programming provided class. So it's a Apex type. We can store this Apex type of elements also inside your list collection. Clear? Now, in this case here, database.save result is a ready-made class which is used to hold the result of one record upon insertion. Whether record is inserted or not, we can able to track the result. Then how can we track the result? For that one, in save result class, we are having some set of ready-made methods. We have few ready-made methods are available in the save result class, which is used to track the result of each and every record operation over here. Okay, understood the concept here? Now, Make a note of this one. Let me digging into the concept step by step. Now, in database dot insert method, we have to supply two input parameters. First one, collection name, which contains a collection of records to be get inserted into the object. Second parameter, a boolean parameter, true or false. This parameter is used to indicate whether it should maintain transactions or partial processing mechanism. Now, if I'm passing true, it maintains the transactions. That is, if any of the record fails, then whole transaction will get rolled back. If it is false, it allows partial processing mechanism. Now, once the operations has been done, we can store the results of the records inside the database dot save result class. Done with this? So database start save result is a built-in class. It's a ready-made class which has been given by Salesforce as part of Apex programming, which is used to hold the result of one record upon insertion. Upon inserting the record inside the object, if you want to store one record insertion operation result by using save result class. If you want to store the multiple records, okay, insertion results, we are using either array or list collection of save result class. That facility is available. Then how can we track the result of each and every record operation? For that one, as part of this database start save result class, we are having few ready-made methods. We have few ready-made methods are available, which is used to track the result of each and every record upon insertion. Now, then what are those methods that we have? Now, let me explain. The first method is a success method. Is a success method, which is a Boolean return parameter here. Now, first method a is a success method which will be returning a value of type Boolean. That means it's a function which returns a Boolean value. That means what this is a success method indicates. This method is used to indicate whether this records insertion operation is success or not. That means record is inserted or not. To know that we are using is a success method. If the record is inserted successfully, then it returns true or else it returns false. Based on that, we can show the confirmation to the user here. This is the first method. Second method. Second method, get ID. That means if the record is inserted successfully, then what will be generating by Salesforce for the record? ID. ID will be generating by Salesforce for that record. That ID is a confirmation to me that my record is inserted successfully here. So in this case, if you want to get the ID of that record here, okay, if you want to get the ID of that record, we are using the help of get ID method. When you want to use this get id method, if the operation is a success, okay, if it is success, if it is true, then only I would like to use this get id method to get the id of the record here. Now, suppose for example, if the operation is failed, then I would like to track the results over here. That means errors. For that one, we have a method called as get errors method. We have a method called as get errors. Get errors is a ready-made method which is used to collect the errors information if the record operation has been failed. Upon processing the records, if the record insertions has been failed, then it will be raising some error messages. To catch those error messages, we are using the help of get errors method here. Now, these methods will be used whenever if the operation has been failed. Okay. Now, in this case, upon returning the error information, it will return the errors information in the form of a separate class called as database.error class. Database.error is a built-in class given by Salesforce, which is used to store all the errors information. Upon processing the records, if the record processing has been failed, then it will be raising some error messages. Those errors information will store in the form of database.error class. Okay. Now from this one, we can able to capture each and every error information. How to capture, we'll see. In the database.error class, we have some ready-made methods are available. What are those methods? We'll see one by one here. Okay. Now, make a note of this one. Now, it is a built-in class which is used to store the result of a record upon insertion. Upon insertion. This class can hold only one record insertion result. To hold the multiple records insertion results, we have to define either an array or list collection. For example, we have to specify database dot save result, array or list of database dot save result. This class provides a collection of built-in methods through which we can catch the results. First one, Boolean is a success. It returns true if the insertion operation is a success. Else, it returns false. Second one, getID method. This method returns record ID which has been generated by Salesforce once the record inserted successfully. Third one, get errors. It returns errors information in the form of database.error class. This method returns all the errors information which has been raised by the Apex runtime when the record insertion failed. These are the three methods. Done with this? Next. The next one, database dot error class. So what exactly the error class? Whenever we are inserting the records, if the record insertions has been failed, then we can catch those errors information by using get errors method, which returns the errors information in the form of database dot error class. Now, so in this case, as part of this database dot error class, this class can store only one error information which has been raised by the Apex runtime. So in that case, upon processing the records, multiple records may be getting failed. In that case, multiple errors may be getting occurred because one record has been failed because I did not pass a value for the mandatory field. Another record has been failed because I have supplied some wrong value for that field. So there may be one more record is available which is not matching the specified conditions also. In that case, different errors will be getting occurred upon inserting the records if the records has been failed. So to track those errors information, we are using database dot error class. Each error will be getting stored inside a separate class. To hold the multiple errors information, we are using the help of either an array or list collection of database dot error class. That's what we are using database dot error array. Okay, now then how can we track this errors information? Now let's see. Inside this database dot error class, again we have three methods are available. First one, get message method. Second one, get status code method. Third one, get fields. Three methods are available. Get message method, which is used to get the error message information. Upon processing the record, if the record insertion has been failed, then it will be throwing that error message. What is that message here? Which will be indicating like as so now illegal value has been assigned, or like as a required field is missing, like that it is indicating some error message. To track that error message, we are using the help of get message method. That is the first one. Second one, get status code. For each and every error, we are having some status codes are available. Status codes will be always representing in the form of constants, where constant values are purely representing in uppercase letters in Apex programming. In order to get those error status codes information, we are using get status code method. Third one, we are going to be tracking the field because of which field value my record insertion has been failed. That means in what field level I did the mistake, I would like to track it. For that one, we are using a method called as get fields method, which will returns all the fields information because of which your record insertion has been failed. Okay? Now, these are the three methods. Now make a note of this one. Database.error class. This class will hold the errors information raised by the Apex runtime if the records processing has been failed. To store the multiple records failure details, we have to use either an array or list collection. It provides the below three methods. First one, get message method. It returns the error message written by the Apex runtime engine. Get status code. This method returns the error status code raised by the Apex runtime fixed time. Error status codes will be always returned, always represented in the form of constants as below. For example, required field missing, field filter validation, custom validation exception, mixed DML operation, etc. And the third method, get fields method. This method returns the list of field details which causes the errors, which causes the errors. These are the three methods. Exception.
Excuse me, Feroz. Excuse me, Feroz.
You tell me.
Uh, it's it's not lowercase uppercase sensitive, right? Then why can the examples written in caps?
Where? This one.
Yeah.
Now, these are the constants. That means here, whenever we are preparing any constant values, that means fixed values, Salesforce is going to be representing in the form of uppercase letters because this is the indication. Just by looking into that, we can understand these are the constant values. All the constant values in Apex programming will be indicating with uppercase letters.
Thank you, Feroz.
Okay, yeah. Done with these three methods. Now, let's see. So these are the methods are available. That means what? Upon using this database dot, okay, insert method, we have to use the help of database dot save result class. Internally in the database save result class, we are using database dot error class. Okay. Now, then let's see how can we do this operation here with the practical. Yesterday, we tried to insert few records inside the object here, but we are failed to insert because for one record, we are not passing the value for one of the mandatory fields. Now, let's try that functionality. I'm going to my Salesforce Arc now. So let's go to the developer console. This is a method. Insert bulk HR records. I'm inserting 50 records inside my object. Out of this 50 records, for 48th record, I'm not passing the value for email ID field. But inside my record, okay, email ID is a mandatory field. Compulsorily, we have to pass the value for the field. Now, so now in this case, if I'm not passing the value for one of the record, my whole transaction will get rolled back because we are using this normal insert statement here. Okay, now let me try to invoke this method one more time. Insert bulk HR records. Click on execute button. It will show the error messages here. Now, here let me show you this particular part. This particular part is called as your error message. This is the error message, which is going to be collecting with the help of a method called as a get message method. Get message method is going to be returning this error message information. Now this is called as status code. This is called as status code. That means your error status code. Now, if you want to collect this error status code, we have to use that method get status code method. Now, this part is nothing but your fields. Because of which fields you are getting this error message here. We can collect these details by using this get fields methods. Okay, these are the three parts are available in the error message. We can collect these three parts of this error message by using three different methods: get message, get status code, get fields. Okay, now let's see. In this case here, instead of using this insert method statement, I would like to use the database dot insert method. Let's see. Now, instead of using this insert statement, I would like to use database dot insert method. Database dot insert method. Now, which will be returning the result in the form of database dot save result array results. I'm passing the second parameter as true. That means what? Transaction management, right? It will maintain the transaction. If any of the record fails, then whole transaction will get rolled back. That means it's same like as your insert statement here. Let me try. I'm executing this. Now it will show that same error message to me over here. So that here, whenever we are trying to be inserting the records by using database start insert method, if I'm passing the value true, then it will be raising that same error message. It will work like as your insert statement. Now I would like to pass a value false. False means don't maintain the transaction. Please allow partial processing mechanism here. Whenever we are going to maintaining the partial processing mechanism, some records will be inserted, some records will be failed. Then to track each and every record operation result, we are using database start save result class over here. Now I would like to track the result of each and every record. Because here in this collection, multiple records, 50 records are there. 50 records results will be storing into this collection over here, that is the array. Now I would like to track each record result over here. For that one, I'm using for loop. This is the collection, that means array, which contains all the records information here. Now, here what we need to define in the left side. No. Results. Results will be of type what? Database dot save result type. So define a variable here. Okay. Collect each and every record result. RES. I'm giving the reference name as RES. That means whatever the multiple records results that we have, I'm iterating this collection. I'm collecting each record result, okay, by using save result class, and from there I would like to track the information. Now here I would like to check if RES dot is a success. If the operation is success, that means if the current record, the first record insertion has been success, then I would like to show the confirmation message. System.debug record insertion inserted successfully. I want to collect the record ID. Hiring manager record ID is, I would like to specify res dot get ID method. Okay, by using this current records results from that one, we are collecting ID of that record here. Else, that means if it is not success, that means what? Fail. Okay, fail. So I'm indicating res dot get errors, which will be returning the errors information in the form of database dot error array. Multiple records may be getting failed or multiple errors may be getting occurred. So that here we are collecting multiple errors information we can track. For each and every error, database dot error. Here are from errors. Then we can track the error information. System dot debug error message is, what is the method? Get message method. System dot debug error status code is err dot get status code. System dot debug. Now, affected fields. Affected fields are err dot get fields. That's it. Now tell me in this case here, instead of maintaining this collection separately, can we write this a method directly inside this for loop? Yes, we can able to use it. So we can able to avoid one collection. If I'm avoiding the collection, then automatically memory will be saving over here. Clear? Understood the concept now? Now this is a piece of code we have to follow here. The same piece of code we are writing for the remaining methods also. If you are using delete here, then here we have to use delete result. Here also we have to use delete result. Everything will be same, no change at all over here. Rest of the things will be just a copy paste. Suppose here if you are using this undelete, then here we have to use undelete result. Here also undelete result. That's it. The remaining code will be same, no change. If I am using that merge, Then here we have to use merge result. Here also merge result. Everything will be same. Okay. Now this is the insert save result class. Understood the concept now? Next. Now let me invoke this method. Let's go back to this. Here I would like to give a line break over here. After representing one record result, okay, then I would like to show that one line break. System.debug, I would like to give a line break. For each record operation result, I'm giving a line break. For me, my easy identification, that's it, nothing else. Now let's execute this. Click on execute. We are making one record to be get failed, even though it will be processing my operation successfully here. Let's see. No error message. Previously, we are able to get the error message. Now we are not getting any error message. Let's select the debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating first record inserted successfully. This is ID, second record, third record, fourth record. Like that, we can able to see okay, 47 records will be inserted successfully. 47 records will be inserted successfully. Then 48th record has been failed. Now, 48th record has been failed. It is indicating the error message. Required fields are missing. There is an error message. There is an error status code. There is an affected field. So we can able to see that information. Even though if a 48th record has been failed, it will continue with the rest of the record. 49th record has been processed. 50th record also has been processed over here. Remaining records have been processed as it is. This is how we can able to enable the partial processing mechanism as part of your Apex programming by using database class methods. Okay, clear? Now, so because of this only data loader is generating two output files, a success file, error file here. Okay, because the background implementation behind the data loader is purely database class methods. Okay, let me place this code. Write an Apex program to insert 50 hiring manager records inside the object. Allow the partial processing mechanism while inserting the records. Track each record operation result through programming and represent the results on the debug log file. Just to make a note of this use case. Okay, I will share this code into your drive. Okay, next. And then tomorrow I will show you some more functionalities of database class methods, like how can we use, okay, upsert operation. There we are having one additional method is available here. How do we know which record is inserted, which record is updated? We'll see very easily. We'll see in tomorrow's session with practical, so that we can complete this DML statements concept. And from there, we'll see the concept of, okay, triggers. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.